is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
Donald Trump will be the 45th President of the United States. What students on the WIU campus have to say about the President-elect and his impact on their future coming up.
For the 9th time, WIU students and staff teamed up to help people in the area. What the community did to help put food on the tables of area families.
And later on, we were just a few degrees above freezing last night, but could Mr. Frost be knocking on our door? Meteorologist JT Greiner has a look at the forecast. Live at 4 starts now.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
We begin this afternoon with breaking news out of the state capitol. Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4.
Former Congressman Aaron Schock has been indicted by a federal grand jury on 24 counts of fraud. Schock is accused of various violations of federal law, including theft of government funds, false statements, and filing false tax returns. The charges revolve around alleged illegal use of federal and campaign funds. He resigned from the 18th Congressional District in March of 2015. Darren LaHood won the special election to replace Schock. We will bring you more information as it develops.
Moving on to election news, the 93rd District will continue to be represented by Noreen Hammond in the Illinois House. Hammond held a watch party at the McDonough County Republican headquarters on Tuesday night. She says she is thrilled with all of the support and, of course, with her re-election.
Your spirit is incredible. Yes.
Representative Noreen Hammond was appointed to her seat in the House back in 2010. This election cycle was the first time she had a challenger, Democratic candidate and WIU professor John Curtis. She pulled ahead in the polls by 9%.
Moving to the 18th Congressional District, Republican Darren LaHood will continue as our representative in Washington. He was elected to the House during a special election after the resignation of Representative Aaron Schock in 2015.
Democratic candidate Susana Mendoza takes office for Illinois Comptroller. Mendoza defeated Leslie Munger by 4% statewide. Mendoza was the first female city clerk for the city of Chicago. She is currently an outreach director with the Chicago Department of Planning and Development.
Democrat Tammy Duckworth is Illinois' new United States Senator. She beat incumbent Republican Mark Kirk by more than 10%. Duckworth was the U.S. representative for the Illinois 8th Congressional District.
On the national scale, Donald Trump is officially president-elect of the United States. This has prompted a variety of reactions all across the country. We spoke to students here on WIU's campus about their thoughts on the man who will take office in January.
I don't think it's good because I'm from Japan and it will has impact on Japanese economy, and I have to do job hunting next year, and it will be harder because Trump became a president.
I think he'll decent things because, I mean, it's not all up to him. He does have to go through other people to decide if something can go his way. But I honestly think he'll do a decent job.
I was a bit worried, not gonna lie. It was pretty weird, honestly, thinking about it, because I come from a family of immigrants. So both of my parents are immigrants, and then we're actually going to Mexico in December, so I was just thinking about, I don't know how that whole process is going to be. I'm going to feel a little bit different going now.
And I think that they saw kind of how he operates as a businessman and use that instead of saying, excuse me, he has no political experience whatsoever. And that's sad because we got somebody that's leading us, America as a whole, with no experience.
And more on Donald Trump. Former Mexican President Vicente Fox says he is quite shocked by the news, end quote, of Trump's election win. He also says his country would never pay for Trump's proposed wall on the U.S.-Mexico border to keep out illegal immigrants.
What we have to do is deal with him now and deal with the trading issue and the wall issue. Of course, Mexico will never pay for that wall.
Meanwhile, Trump says he plans to take office his first day in office on everything from immigration to ISIS. Obamacare is also on the list. Trump says with a Republican Congress and president, he should be able to save Americans from the disaster known as Obamacare in a single afternoon.
New at 4, a Macomb man is facing burglary charges. Police say the burglar broke into a couple's home, took an Xbox, and did some strange things. He took 2 fish from their tank and left them on the table to die. He then took table salt and wrote a message on their table that read, "Don't hide." Police say fingerprints at the scene belong to David Webb. A Macomb officer arrested Webb as he was walking along West Jackson Street on November 9th. Webb claims the couple robbed him first. He says that's why he left the message in the salt. The couple says they did not burglarize Webb's residence, and police have not found evidence of such a burglary.
In more local news, local food pantries are being filled today after the success of the 9th annual Stuff the Bus. Volunteers from all around the area collected, sorted, and stuffed food into Go West buses. News 3 went to the event to see how the region came together for a great cause.
Stuff the Bus has been going on for 9 years now. It's our annual, Stop Hunger event to help those in need right before the holidays. It benefits Loaves and Fishes, the WIRC, Community Action Agency, and then the RA Council does a Thanksgiving dinner every year for the Salvation Army. So all the food stays local and helps those in need, and I think it's a really great cause for students to come together and really help the community and really give WIU a positive light for the students.
I really like Stuff the Bus because we get to help people inside the community of Macomb, and I feel like it's a direct impact compared to bigger organizations, and we get to work and meet new people sorting food.
I was really excited to participate this year because I'm really passionate about fighting hunger, especially here in America. So to be able to help gather all this food up for food banks and whatnot, especially for the community, is just a great opportunity.
The event has been able to collect over 100,000 pounds of food since 2008.
We are in the middle of Military Appreciation Week. Find out what it means to veterans to be honored by our community ahead.
And a 1-year-old
I don't
boy is
think any of us were
challenged.
expecting this great of a turnout. It's been really amazing, so we're so thankful.
And a 1-year-old boy is challenged with a disease that threatens his life. Find out what 2 graduate students did for him coming up next. But first, Jason Chauvin has a preview of sports. Jason.
Thanks, Dan. With fall in full swing, it means we get to focus on more indoor sports. We have a preview of the Western Illinois men's basketball team as their season gets ready to tip off. Stick around to see how the team chemistry is heading into the season with lots of new faces added to the roster. But first, JT Greider has a quick look at the weather. JT?
Hi Jason, taking a look at our Macomb webcam, you see that sun is casting a real good glare on the camera. And the sun is supposed to set here in about 40 minutes, so if you're going to enjoy the weather, go outside and do it, because I don't know if it's going to stick around long, but you'll find out coming up.
I think just working with everybody in the newsroom, everybody has such a great camaraderie. All the opportunities that I've been given here have just been amazing to expand on that resume. I try not to beat myself up on the mistakes I make because there's so many opportunities. Just giving that experience, and this is how I got to do things in the real world, is really what the broadcasting and journalism department has done for me. When you have a really good show and that everybody nailed it, I mean, that's one of the best feelings in the world.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Garrett Covington chose Western Illinois University because of the law enforcement program and the chance to be a leatherneck.
Western has one of the best law enforcement programs in the nation, and I get to play the game I love. Whether I go pro or I go to law school, because of Western, I would take my success to another level. I am a success story. I am a leatherneck.
Think purple, think success. Think Western Illinois University.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 continues.
Veterans Day is tomorrow, and the city of Macomb will celebrate like it always does. About 800 American flags will be displayed all throughout Chandler Park on Friday, but the city needs your help to make it happen.
This is absolutely has to be maintained by volunteers, and it's commitment on volunteers' parts that will make or break the project. So we're asking for recommitment, if nothing else.
Tomorrow morning, the local Veterans of Foreign Wars chapter will put up the flags of love in Chandler Park. Volunteers wanting to help should arrive at 7 a.m. There will be a moment of silence beforehand. Volunteers are also needed to take down the flags at 4 p.m. And join us tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for our award-winning show, Good Morning Macomb, as we take a live look at Chandler Park to honor our veterans. Grab your coffee and find us here at 9.
And while tomorrow is Veterans Day, this whole week has been dedicated to the men and women who serve our country. News 3's Veronica Ariola tells us about Military Appreciation Week at WIU.
Go, 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 go! Every year, the Veterans Resource Center hosts a week full of events honoring our veterans and service members.
We have been sponsoring Military Appreciation Week at Western for each year for probably the last 4 years.
It all began with just a small group of people at first.
That support network of individuals felt that acknowledging our veterans and our service members one day a year probably wasn't enough. So we wanted to expand that opportunity to offer a lot of different programs and services and resources, you know, to increase awareness on campus.
Military Appreciation Week is something that veterans and service members alike look forward to every year.
Well, it shows support through Western Illinois University and also like the Resource Center. Resource Center provide like a lot of help to the military vets, and it shows a lot.
To close off the week, the Veterans Resource Center, along with volunteers, will be putting out flags for our fallen soldiers.
An event that's been going on for 36 years. Over 800 soldiers' family have donated flags to the cause, so we need that to continue.
After putting up the flags, there will also be a tribute ceremony as well as a concert for veterans. Reporting for News 3, I'm Veronica Ariola.
Thank you, Veronica. On Friday, we brought you the story of 2 graduate students at Western Illinois University who organized a benefit for a 1-year-old boy with cancer.
News 3's Emily Manley went to the benefit Wednesday night and has the story. Emily?
When we brought you this story on Good Morning Macomb, these 2 students just wanted to get the word out about the benefit and get people in the door. But instead, they had so many people show up, they had to put a cap on the event. People who attended the benefit not only left with a new decoration for the holidays, but with the feeling of helping a 1-year-old boy with neuroblastoma.
Will Idson is a happy 1-year-old boy. If you saw his smiling face, you wouldn't know he's sick. But the reality is Will has a rare infant cancer, neuroblastoma. He has already gone through 4 rounds of chemo and is getting ready to go back for more. Dana and Tracy met Will's mom at WIU in graduate school. When they became friends with Lauren Idson, they didn't know that they would become a major support system and later put on a benefit to help her son.
To make someone else happy, nothing else mattered. I mean, whatever stresses we had going up to it, nothing mattered. Just seeing them sit there, it was incredible. I'm just so happy everyone came, everyone had a good time, and everyone's leaving with a great or semi-great painting. So overall, it's just a good feeling.
The paintings Tracy is talking about are what the 2 girls did for Will's benefit. They call the event Will's Snowman. People from around the community rallied to support Will, and to some it hit home because they have small children too.
It makes you feel great. I have 2 small boys myself, an almost 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, so it really hits home that, it could be any of us. And so just the little things that I can do to help this family, it means a lot to know that I've helped contribute and to support them through all of this as well.
Lauren and her husband Brad were overwhelmed Wednesday night as more and more people came to support them. The Idsons told me they cannot thank people enough for what everyone has done.
Words can't express the amount of gratitude that we have for all the support that we've had. It's just so humbling, and to see the kindness and just the generosity of people. It's been really amazing. It really has been. It kind of carries us through the really tough times, just the love and support that we've got. So.
Now, Will is still getting ready to head to St. Louis for another round of chemo, but this time it's stronger, and then he will move on to radiation. If you would like to help Will and his family and stay up to date with his journey, you can go to his Facebook page, We Will Win. Reporting in the studio, Emily Manley, News 3.
The days are getting shorter and the temps are dropping.
Coming up next on Live at 4, meteorologist JT Greider has a look at the News 3 exclusive game day forecast.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
I think what I love most about News 3 is that we're really provided with a real-world experience. We're able to get hands-on work in news, and it's very similar to what you would find in a real newsroom, but everyone around here is really good about pushing you to be your best. News 3 has really taught me to believe in myself, and that if you work hard, you can achieve anything you want. News can sometimes be really tricky, and you have a lot of roadblocks. All of us hold each other to really high standards, and I think that really shows in our newscasts.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Live at 4. Currently here in Macomb, we have a temperature of 63 degrees, and that wind is out of the west at 13 miles an hour, so that can be a little brisk at times. But if we look at our current temperatures around the region, we have 63 degrees in Burlington, 64 in Keokuk, but then back here in Galesburg, we have 60. The clouds have started to pull in place, and the sun is starting to set over the area. Sunsets here in about 30 minutes or so, so you're going to want to go out and enjoy these temperatures while they still last, as we will be seeing a cool down coming up, but more on that later. Our almanac page for today shows that we reached that high of 63 just a few minutes ago, actually. And then our average, though, 52 degrees. We're staying above average for a little bit, but again, that's supposed to be changing within the next couple days. If we look at our current surface map, we see this cold front that's off to our north. That's going to continue to drop to our south, and that's going to bring us some much cooler air into Saturday and even tomorrow night, as we might be reaching some freezing temperatures. High pressure will build in place and behind it, but the winds will then switch out of the north and bring in even more cooler air. As we track our tropics, just real quick, I want to mention this. This area, the National Hurricane Center, is starting to monitor this area for possible development of a late season storm. We're going to continue to watch this in the National Hurricane Center and bring you more on that as it develops. Our first freeze, I want to talk about this real quick. Our average first freeze is October 15th, and that's whenever we reach 32 degrees or below. That puts us 26 days late of our average first freeze. But like I keep telling you, it could be changing within the next couple days. If we look at our forecast for tonight, we have clear skies, low of 42. So we're not going to reach it tonight. But then if we switch over into tomorrow, we have partly cloudy skies, which our temperature only reaching 55. So the clouds are going to keep our temperature down, which will help us out. If we look into tomorrow night, it's supposed to be dropping even colder. If we look at our game day forecast on Saturday, kickoff at 1 p.m., temperatures in the low 50s. So if you're going to go to the game, it's going to be sunny, but you're going to want to take that jacket, as it could get a little brisk at times. Now, for your 5-day forecast, like I said, it's going to be dropping. Tomorrow night, temperatures are supposed to be down into the low 30s. We could see our first good chance at our first freeze. So we're going to be about 27 days late, but we're actually going to possibly get it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the cooler temperatures, but I don't know if I'm ready for a freeze.
I don't think I am either.
Starting to freeze, isn't that a good time to go inside for some sports? Ain't that right, Jason? With basketball coming up?
Danny, I could not have said it any better myself. Coming up, the Western Illinois women's basketball team is done with exhibition play, and that means it's time to start the regular season. Coming up, we preview the Leathernecks' mentality heading into the regular season and what the expectations are for the team heading into J.D. Gravina's 6th season coaching at WIU. And just because it's cold doesn't mean football season's over. Up next, we take a look at the Leatherneck football team, who plays host to Northern Iowa in their final home game of the season. All that coming up next on Live at 4.
We taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Hey, Hard, what's this? That's my resignation letter. You're resigning? Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay. But remember, it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
You make me wear my bike helmet. You taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules. You tell me to stay away from drugs. To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
My favorite thing about News 3 is you're constantly working with someone. If you're not going to work with someone, then your show's not going to go right. News 3 has really got me ready and prepared for the outside world. Traveling to do a tornado story, or if that even means traveling to Iowa to cover third graders, I get to work with some fantastic people. It wouldn't be the show that it was today without the production crew, without our anchors, without our talent. It's really a team effort, and I'm beyond blessed to be able to be here.
Welcome back to Live at 4. The Western Illinois men's basketball season is about to tip off. And over the offseason, the Leathernecks welcomed some new faces to the roster. And now that the new pieces are added, that means the team can gel better on the floor.
Chemistry's great. On the court, obviously, you got to be a little bit better, but that's how every new teams are. You're going to have new players. They got to learn at the rate everything that I've already known for the 4 years I've been here. But we're teaching them. They're learning quick, too, so it's going to be a smooth transition.
The Leathernecks tip off tomorrow night on the road in Manhattan, Kansas, when they take on the Kansas State Wildcats. Sticking to the basketball court, the women's basketball teams start their season at home tomorrow night, taking on Monmouth College in Western Hall. Sports director Danny Fry caught up with head coach J.D. Gravina following a historic season last year.
I think that really proved to us as a team that we can compete with the best of the best, and I think we really used that adrenaline going into the postseason.
I thought that kind of simulated life, and that's the way life is. You know, people get into sports and they think it's just going to be this great experience, and it's tough, and those girls really battled through it, and I was proud that they got to see some results.
And so it was tough to come back together. Everyone was going to go on vacation, and then we all came back, had nothing to lose, and I feel like we just played very well together, and nothing to lose attitude has just worked really well for us.
Western's fast-paced style of play will not change from last year.
I think offensively we should be a pretty similar team, maybe even have a chance to be a little bit better. We've got great spacing this year. We really move the ball well. We've been moving without the ball as good as any team I've ever coached.
We have a lot of speed with this team, and our motion style offense just gives a lot of people a lot of freedom and opportunity to play unselfish and just like continuity basketball. So I think that's a huge plus for us.
Yeah, I feel like we have a really exciting team. Everyone's pumped and everyone has the drive to win, and I just think we all mesh really well together, and we're going to come out and do some great things together.
Among last year's transfers ready to play this year is Morgan Bloomer from Florida Gulf Coast.
I think sitting out actually helped me a lot because it made me get acclimated to Western's offense, their defense, like what they like to do, like what the coaches want. And I just think it helped a lot sitting out, and I really cannot wait to play. It's literally been a long year.
Rounding out the newcomers on the team this year are 3 freshmen, Olivia Kaufman, Andy Pierce, and Sam Pryor.
I think like every freshman class, they have their good days and bad days, and it's such a tough transition going to play at the Division I level, and I think those kids are really bringing some maturity to it. They're in the gym working hard, and they're all 3 different kids, which I like.
The Leathernecks start the regular season in Western Hall tomorrow night, taking on Monmouth College at 7 p.m. And now switching from the hardwood over to the turf, the WIU football team will play their final home game of the regular season, taking on Northern Iowa. Head football coach Charlie Fisher is focusing on a strong start against an underrated Panthers team.
And it prepares you for moments like this when you got to be able to rise up and play good at the end of the season. So this is their battle tested. They know what's at stake. We all do. This is November. You're down the stretch the last 2 games. Every game is critical. Every play is critical. Anything you do matters.
The Leathernecks kick off against Northern Iowa at 1 p.m. at Hanson Field. That's all for sports. Final word is next.
Hillary Dunn was convinced that Western Illinois University would invest in her.
My classes, friends, teachers, and activities have had a tremendous impact on my time here.
Hillary's passion for learning and helping others will lead her down a successful path.
Whether I choose graduate school or missionary work, I'll serve to the best of my ability because I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Think purple, think success, think Western Illinois University.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
I'd have to say it's just the fact that you can get involved right away. You walk in the door and you can learn all the equipment. And I've been able to anchor, I've been able to be a DJ on our student-run radio station here. I've been able to work any of the camera equipment and the audio equipment. The fact that you can get involved right away. Everybody's really friendly. They welcome you right when you walk in the door. And you report the news, but you can also have fun stories and hard news stories and conflicting stories. But yet you just get such a real-life experience here at News 3. That's all for us today, but join us tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for our award-winning show, Good Morning Macomb.
We're also online all the time. Stay up to date with us, news3wiu.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Just search our handle, News3WIU.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
From all of us at News 3, have a great night.